really good question from Sharir Imam. I hope I've pronounced your name correctly. What's the issue with the Indian pace bowling department? Now, I've watched a little bit of the cricket that's been played in Australia, between Australia and India. And yes, it's a very valid question. The Indian fast bowlers probably haven't performed as well as they would have liked. And I've got a pretty simple answer in what I think has been going on. I just don't think they're patient enough. I just don't think they've been disciplined enough with their lines and their lengths. And it just seems to me they've just got bored really quickly. They've bowled a couple of good deliveries, then they try to go for that glory wicket-taking ball. Now, Test cricket is played over 5 days, and the average bowler takes anywhere between 50 and 70 balls per wicket. So you do have to be patient and build up pressure. And I just haven't seen that from the Indians. And I think if they can have that mindset, you want to still have that aggressive attitude with being a fast bowler. But I think if they can be a bit disciplined and look to just be ruthless hitting their line and length, I think they would have a little bit more success. At Rossi Biddle has asked, do you think sledging has gone too far, or do you want Yorkshire to play like Australia, India have this season? It's a very good question. Again, obviously we don't like to see unsavoury incidents on the ground. I am all for a bit of gamesmanship out there. I think some choice words out in the middle. I think what you've got to understand, there's a lot of passion in playing for your country, playing for your county. I think we need to give the umpires complete control out there, and they make the decision on what has gone too far and what hasn't. A lot of umpires, you remember, especially in the English game, have played a lot of cricket themselves. They know where the line is and when not to cross that. I think we need to give these umpires the support and backing to make the right calls, as we do with them making the right calls with decisions on the ground. Let's give them the responsibility for player behaviour. There's been a lot of potential solutions bandied around, and I really like the idea of a card system, a yellow card system, red cards. I think that would stamp out poor behaviour very quickly. So I would be all for a system like that. Obviously, there'd have to be some discussions on how that would work and how that could be implemented, but I think it's a discussion worth having because some of the incidents we have seen are unacceptable. As for Yorkshire, I don't have a problem with them playing a positive, aggressive brand of cricket, but our players certainly know where to draw the line, and I think that's a really important point. Robert Hampstead has asked a question about who is the best current cricketer in the world. I'm guessing it's my opinion. So thank you for that question. I'll be honest, I'll probably have to go a couple of South Africans, to be perfectly honest. With my fast bowler's hat on, I don't think I can go past Dale Steyn. I think he's a wonderful fast bowler. Pitches the ball up, swings the ball away from the right-handers, asks a lot of questions of batsmen with their technique. He bowls at a very good pace, and he's been incredible in that he's been able to stay injury-free for the best part of his career. His record, his strike rate is incredible, under 45, I think, in Test cricket. It's almost unheard of, taking a wicket every 7 overs, which is an incredible achievement for someone who's got, well in excess of 300 Test wickets. I'd have to say he's up there the best. And batting, I think it's almost a toss-up. Hashim Amla in the last couple of years has been simply incredible. I think his batting has gone to a new level. I'm kind of torn between him and AB de Villiers, if I'm perfectly honest. And on the back of AB de Villiers having a wonderful few years in the game that he's had, but that innings we saw very recently against the West Indies at Johannesburg was something to behold. I fortunate enough to be able to watch that on television, and that was just incredible cricket. So probably those players. It's hard to split them. If you push me, I'll always go the fast bowler, Dale Steyn. But I think all those players are worthy of that. That being known as probably the best current player in the world right now. All right, our GB number 8 has asked me this question. How do you think Yorkshire County Cricket Club will cope with more players on international duty? Look, that's a potential situation that we could come across at Yorkshire in 2015, but I'm quite excited about it, because that just means players have performed for Yorkshire and are being recognised by the England selectors. So I don't have a problem with that. Part of our role here in county cricket is to help players try and strive and achieve their dreams of representing their country. So I'm all for that. I think, yes, it just means we'll have to bring other people in, and people will see that as potentially we're weakening our side. But you could argue that, but I would also argue that it gives other players and other Yorkshiremen an opportunity to represent this great county and learn and develop their game at first class level. So I think being able to be afforded those opportunities will only hold those players in good stead moving forward, and it would be great for the club bringing more cricketers through our cricket system. David Willman's asked me a question: what is my favourite kind of hot pie? I'm not too sure how to answer that. I don't really eat pies. I remember when I was younger, I'd have a meat pie back in Australia, but I can't remember the last time I actually had a pie. So I can't really answer that. I'm really sorry about that. I'm not a pie eater. I've got a question from Hessel Cricket Club here. Best bit of advice for a club opening bowler to be successful and take more wickets? Well, for me, it's very simple. Even at first class international level, I think you make the batsmen play as often as possible. You try to get them to look to score off the front foot, attacking shot, generally a drive through the offside. I think it brings in the most forms of dismissals, the bold LBWs, nicking off the front foot behind the wicket to your keeper and slips. So that would be my suggestion. Make the batsman play and pitch the ball up.